Well, good morning and welcome to the July 15 meeting of the New York City Campaign Finance Board. The first item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from our June 20th meeting. I move their approval. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstentions, that motion carries. Next item on our agenda is my report. So the June primaries are now behind us and the general election is less than 4 months away. In today's meeting, the board will be voting on the 9th round of public funds payments for the 2025 elections, expenditure relief for 2 2025 city council races in the general election, and enforcement actions against 5 committees. 4 of these candidate committees are from the 2021 election cycle, and 1 is from the 2019 special election. That's all I have. Next on our agenda is the report of our executive director.
Thank you, Chair Schaefer. Good morning, everyone. I want to begin by taking a moment to thank staff throughout the agency for working so hard after the past few months to engage and educate voters throughout the city, to support hundreds of candidates running this year, to process thousands of campaign disclosure reports, to audit those reports, and hundreds of thousands of transactions for determination of public funds eligibility, to process hundreds of public funds payments, to fulfill more than 125 Freedom of Information Law requests, to process dozens of legal enforcement actions and provide other legal support to the agency, to maintain complicated legacy technology systems, and implement financial controls and HR and EEO processes to protect and support the agency and our employees, all while continuing implementation of our strategic plan to improve our agency for the future. Every CFB employee in every corner of the agency plays a part in our elections work, and I appreciate you all. I also want to congratulate our friends at the Board of Elections for a well-run primary. And though the primaries are over, the Campaign Finance Board's work on the primaries continues. We're speeding up our post-election audits by issuing initial documentation requests, we call these IDRs, this month to candidates who have not advanced to the general election. In past election cycles, we've waited until early in the new year following the election year to send these IDRs to campaigns. So, candidates and treasurers, please keep an eye out for your IDR in the coming weeks, much earlier than you might be used to. Our goal is to get all the documentation we need from you this summer while you still have it handy and before you mentally move on with your lives. We also have a new policy adopted last fall, limiting deadline extensions for responses to the IDR and other phases of the post-election audits. So please be prepared to respond to your campaign's IDR promptly. Campaign affairs staff are busy with the July disclosure statement filing, which is due today, Tuesday, July 15th. In addition to the 281 expected filers from the 2025 election cycle, we have 528 candidates from past election cycles submitting their ongoing semi-annual disclosure. And as we pivot to this year's general election public funds payments and disclosure statement filings, please check the candidate services section of our website for important deadlines and information, including guidance on what participating candidates need to know about public funds payments. That will do it for me, Chair Schaefer. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is our announcement of campaigns in compliance. These are campaigns who have gone through the audit process without any findings of violation of our campaign laws. We have 2 today. The first from the 2021 special election cycle for City Council District 31, candidate was Pesach Osina, and from the 2023 election for City Council District 5, Elizabeth Galuscio. Next on our agenda is the vote on the 2025 public payment determination. I will now introduce a motion to approve public funds payments for the regular 2025 city elections for the following candidates in the following amounts. For Mayor, Zohran Mamdani, $1,097,653. James Walden, $135,386. For Public Advocate, Jumani Williams, $4,256. For Controller, Mark Levine, $36,670. For Manhattan Borough President, Brad Hoylman Siegel, $1,330. For Queensborough President, Donovan Richards, $405,421. For Staten Island Borough President, Michael Colombo, $77,892. For Bronx Borough President, Vanessa Gibson, $9,714. For City Council District 1, Christopher Marte, $161,454. Helen Q, $3,514. For City Council District 2, Harvey Epstein, $48,134. For City Council District 3, Eric Botcher, $48,134. For City Council District 4, Virginia Maloney, $48,134. For City Council District 7, Sean Abreu, $48,134. For City Council District 8, Elsie Encarnacion, $8,497. For City Council District 10, Carmen De La Rosa, $48,134. For City Council District 11, Eric Dinowitz, $4,697. For City Council District 12, Kevin Riley, $1,292. For City Council District 13, Shirley Aldebol, $1,558. Christy Marmaroto, $48,134. For City Council District 15, Oswald Felice, $46,004. For City Council District 17, Justin Sanchez, $20,406. For City Council District 19, Benjamin Chu, $760. Vicky Palladino, $48,134. For City Council District 20, Sandra Ung, $48,134. Stephen Wang, $44,422. For City Council District 21, Chanel Thomas Henry, $1,140. For City Council District 23, Linda Lee, $10,374. For City Council District 25, Shekhar Krishnan, $28,766. For City Council District 28, Tyrell Hankerson, $4,697. For City Council District 29, Lynn Schulman, $192,534. For City Council District 35, Crystal Hudson, $48,609. For City Council District 38, Alexa Aviles, $48,134. For City Council District 39, Shahana Hanif, $48,134. For City Council District 44, Simca Felder, $48,134. Harold Tischler, $154,828. For City Council District 45, Farah Lewis, $45,592. For City Council District 46, Mercedes Narcisse, $4,378. For City Council District 49, John Shea, $48,134. For City Council District 50, David Carr, $143,798. Radha Krishna Mohan, $64,691. For City Council District 51, Frank Morano, $950. This motion also includes the board's decision to deny public funds payments to other.
$7 million wasted on a voter guide. Useless voter guide. $7 million completely wasted.
This is not a public hearing. I would request those of you who are speaking
$7 million
and
wasted.
marching around to please leave the meeting.
Never be wasting $7 million.
Could you all settle down now or leave the meeting, please?
$7 million down the drain and you have no public comment in your CFP meeting. You used to.
We have heard you, but this is not a public hearing.
Step down, resign. You cost the taxpayers $7 million.
If we can't settle down, I'm going to have to ask you to be removed.
On a faulty voter guide.
Gentlemen?
$7 million wasted.
Okay. Would you please leave the meeting now?
You don't even acknowledge any of the people in the press.
Okay.
$7 million.
You've made your point. We've made your point. We'd like you to please leave now or be quiet.
And you, Michael Meyer, as the new executive director, know better.
Okay, thank
How
you.
is it that you guys get away with?
You will have other occasions to make your point. Please. Please.
You made it June 23rd instead of June 24th. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
We need to continue with the meeting, so would you please leave now? Thank you. Come on. Come on.
$7 million, guys.
Gentlemen,
$7 million.
come on.
Does that pay all your salary? Or does that go to some of the candidates? Or do you have a voter guide just sitting there? That's lots of errors. So you make.
Come on. Come on.
On the billboard.
We need you to leave now so we can continue the meeting. Let's go.
Thank you.
Begin again. This motion also includes the board's decision to deny public funds payments to other participating candidates who are ineligible at this time. Immediately following this meeting, the board will make public a list of those candidates and the reasons for their ineligibility, as well as any candidates who have declined public funds payments at this time. Candidates who have been denied payment today have a right to appeal that decision. In addition, there will be opportunities for campaigns to establish eligibility for matching funds in the coming weeks and months. I will be recusing myself from the vote regarding Andrew Cuomo, but I will be, actually, I don't think there is any vote regarding. Forget about that. There is, okay. I will be recusing myself from the vote regarding Andrew Cuomo, but I will be participating in the vote regarding all other candidates. Additionally, board member Richard Davis is recusing himself from the vote regarding Mayor Eric Adams, but is participating in the vote regarding all other candidates. I will now read a statement regarding the board's decision on the Adams campaign's public funds eligibility. On December 16th, 2024, after reviewing all available information, including details of the indictment of Mayor Eric Adams, the board determined that there is reason to believe the Adams campaign engaged in conduct detrimental to the matching funds program in violation of law. His campaign had also failed to provide documents and information requested by the board. Accordingly, Mayor Adams' campaign failed to demonstrate eligibility for public funds at that time. Subsequently, the board has continued to deny Mayor Adams public funds for these reasons, as well as for his failure to timely file conflicts of interest board disclosure. In May, Mayor Adams sued the board, challenging the grounds on which the board had deemed his campaign ineligible for funds. On July 11th, last week, the court ruled in favor of the board and dismissed Mayor Adams' lawsuit, concluding that the board had two valid independent reasons to deny payment. One, Mayor Adams' failure to timely respond to the board's request for information, and two, his failure to timely file COIB disclosure. However, the court called into question the board's reliance on the indictment of Mayor Adams as the basis for its reason to believe the Adams campaign violated the law and stressed the importance of independent fact-finding by the board. The board's investigation of the Adams campaign is ongoing, including whether there is reason to believe the campaign violated the law. On July 11th, the campaign asked to extend to August 1st its deadline to respond to a board request for documents and information as part of the board's investigation. Because the documents and information requested from the Adams campaign are still outstanding and have been outstanding since last November, the board determines today that Mayor Adams' campaign has failed to demonstrate eligibility for public funds payments at this time. Our priority remains achieving an equitable and transparent democracy that is accountable to all New Yorkers. With that, I will call for a second to the motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? The motion carries. The next item on our agenda is a vote on expenditure limit relief in council districts 5 and 31, and I'll ask our counsel for today to introduce this subject. Tim?
Good morning, Mr. Caper, Director Ryan, and members of the Campaign Finance Board. I'm Timothy Judy, Senior Counsel at the CFB. CFB staff has determined that non-participants in the 2025 general election in 2 city council districts, 5 and 31, have raised or spent more than half of the expenditure limit for the 2025 general election. CFB staff recommends that the board increase the applicable expenditure limits to 150% of the limit for all participants in the general elections for both City Council District 5 and City Council District 31 from $228,000 to $342,000.
Thank you. I'll move to enact those expenditure limit reliefs in those 2 districts. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. We have a number of enforcement actions on our agenda today, but no appearances. But we will go into deliberations in discussing this. So the deliberations may not last too long, but we're going to do some formal deliberations on these before we come back and vote on our decisions. So we'll be back in a little while. All right, the board has deliberated on the enforcement actions, and I will propose the following kind of omnibus motion dealing with all of them. As I mentioned before, none of these candidates have asked to appear before us today. So I will propose the following motion. That the board make the following findings and impose the following penalties or repayment obligations. First, candidate Farrar Lewis, candidate for City Council in the 2019 special election. There is required a public funds repayment of $3,898. Next, Rita Joseph, a 2021 candidate for City Council. The board finds the following violation and imposes the following penalty, exceeding the expenditure limit, $1,316. Next, Mercedes Narcisse, a candidate for City Council in 2021. The board finds the following violations and proposes to impose the following penalties. 1, accepting a contribution from a corporation. 2, let me do it separately. 1, accepting a contribution from a corporation, $650. 2, converting campaign funds to personal use, $2,178. 3, exceeding the expenditure limit, $27,416 for total penalties of $30,244. Next, George Anuara, a 2021 candidate for City Council. The board proposes to find the following violation, accept and impose the following penalty, accepting a contribution from a corporation, $1,912. And finally, Stephen Saperstein, a 2021 candidate for City Council. The board proposes to find the following violations and impose the following penalties. 1, accepting contributions from corporations, limited liability companies, or partnerships, $250. 2, exceeding the expenditure limit, $10,102 for total penalties of $10,352. And there is also, we recommend we recommend or require a repayment of public funds in the amount of $7,902.70. That is the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstentions, the motion carries. That's the end of our public business for today. So I will make the usual motion. We're going to go into executive session to discuss some matters that don't require any action. So I will move to go into executive session and adjourn directly from the executive session. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries. We'll see you all.